Hey everybody, this year we're going to try some drip tape irrigation with some timers to make it a little bit easier for us to water these gardens. So for this particular area, we've got 3 beds of 4 rows each. They're 50 foot long. So we're going to have a total of 12 rows when we're done here. We're going to have to try to figure out how to lay out our irrigation lines so that we get an even distribution of water amongst all of these rows. So let's go take a look at it. Can you see me now? Good. All right, so we've got our connections for our poly tubing. We are going to lay this out where we've got 6 rows to the right, 6 rows to the left of our main supply. This is where we're going to bring in our main line, and then we're going to tee off and go to one side and feed 6 lines, and another side and feed another 6 lines. These are going to be, these are end capped to be right on the ends of those poly tubing, one on each side. And we've got little shut off valves for all of the drip line. So I've got just a few laid out here to show you how that's going to go to the drip line. Between each of these, we're going to have poly tubing, and we're going to come back off of this tee to our supply. We're going to have a 90. You can see that 90 right there. And we're going to have to transition to a hose thread so we can connect to pressure regulator. And then from the pressure regulator, working our way back to the supply, we're going to go through filter. So we've got a filter right here. All this is hose thread, so it's easy to put together. And then from the filter back to the timer, we're going to have a backflow preventer. Again, easy to put on. We'll put that on the timer, and then that connects to our water supply. So this shouldn't be too hard to put together. All right, we've got our main poly tube line laid. We've got some landscape staples just to tack it down so it's not flopping all over the place. Goes all the way across all of the beds, all the way to this end with a little slack for us to play with, and we'll put some connections on. Let's start off with that T and the 2 end caps. All right, we are pretty much right here in the center of the line. I'm gonna take some cutters here and cut that right in half. Put our T on. Just push this barb in into this poly tubing like that, and screw it down. Get that other line. Push the other one in. Cold out here, so this line's hard. Like that. Screw that line down. Now be ready for our main supply. Here is one end. Put this end cap on here. Just like that, and we'll do the other end just the same. Boom, done. All right, so I went ahead and connected that T, which is our main supply for the beds. Working the way back over here, you'll see that elbow transitioning to hose thread through our pressure regulator and our filter, which connects to our supply line hose, and I'll show you where that connects. That is a 25-foot hose, and as promised, it connects to the backflow preventer, up to the timer, and into our water supply. Now, I left a little slack in all of these lines because eventually I do want to bury those just under the surface a little bit, so it's not a tripping hazard and we're not tracking over those. Now, this was just the supply line for the poly tubing on 600 feet a row. We're going to be doing 3,500 feet a row this year. We didn't even run the drip tape for this yet, so we got a lot of work to do. Take our time, we'll eventually get there, and stay tuned to see the rest of the install.